Stop lying to yourself. You're not broken beyond repair. You're just refusing to do what's necessary to heal. You've been praying, meditating, and hoping for healing, but deep down, you know something's still off. Healing isn't magic, it's a process. And sometimes the reason you're not healed has nothing to do with fate and everything to do with the choices you make daily. Today, I'll tell you why your breakthrough hasn't come yet and how to change it. You're feeding the wound instead of the cure, and you don't even realize it. Every time you replay the hurt, every time you rehearse the pain, every time you drag out the same story about how life has wronged you, you're not healing. You're bleeding all over again. You think talking about it is helping you process it, but in reality, you're just keeping the wound fresh. You're putting salt in it day after day, and then wondering why it still hurts. You're giving pain-free rent in your mind, letting it set up camp, decorate the walls, and charge you interest for staying. And here's the truth you don't want to hear: you cannot move forward while clinging to the past. You cannot step into healing while holding on to the hurt. The wound will never close if you keep ripping it open. And some of you, if you're honest, love the wound more than the cure. The wound gets you attention. The wound gets you sympathy. The wound gives you a reason not to step up. Because as long as injured, you can justify staying in the same place. But let me ask you something. Do you want comfort or do you want freedom? Because you can't have both. Comfort says, keep telling the story, keep milking the pity. Freedom says, enough, I'm done being a prisoner to this pain. The shift happens when you stop feeding the hurt and start feeding the healing. You can't keep watering weeds and expect roses to grow. Gratitude is water for your soul. Action is the fertilizer for your growth. Truth is the sunlight that burns away the lies that keep you chained to yesterday. When you wake up in the morning, you choose what you feed your mind. You can feed it with why me, or you can feed it with watch me. You can focus on what broke you, or you can focus on what's building you. The choice is yours every single day. Start by starving the pain. That means refusing to entertain the thoughts, the conversations, the places, and the people that keep dragging you back to that wound. Replace them with gratitude. Find something, anything to be thankful for, even in the middle of the storm. Replace them with action. Do one thing today that moves you forward, no matter how small. Replace them with truth. Speak words over yourself that declare your wholeness, not your brokenness. Not your brokenness. And let me be blunt. You don't need anyone's permission to heal. You don't need an apology to move forward. You don't need closure to grow. You need a decision. The cure has been waiting for you to stop worshiping the wound. It's been standing at the door the whole time, but you were too busy staring at the scar. If you want the pain to end, stop feeding it. Feed your healing. Feed your future. Feed your strength. The wound only lives if you keep it alive. You won't let go of toxic people. That's why you're stuck. That's why you're bleeding emotionally even after years of trying to heal. You cannot heal in the same environment that broke you. It's like trying to recover from smoke inhalation while still living in a burning house. You're breathing in the same poison every single day. You keep telling yourself, maybe they'll change, or they didn't mean it. But deep down, you know they've shown you who they are over and over again. You're not confused. You're afraid to face the truth. You're holding on to them because you fear the discomfort of being alone more than the pain they cause you. But here's the brutal reality. Staying connected to people who drain your energy, poison your thoughts, and sabotage your growth is emotional suicide. They're not neutral. They're pulling you backward every time you take a step forward. And you can dress it up with excuses, family loyalty, old friendships, shared history. But the truth is, those excuses are your chains. You can't heal while constantly reopening your wounds. You can't rebuild your confidence when the people around you are busy tearing it down. You can't grow when your environment is infested with doubt, negativity, and manipulation. These people are like anchors disguised as lifeboats. They make you believe they're holding you up, but in reality, they're pulling you under. And the longer you cling to them, the more they convince you that you can't survive without them. Cut them off. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it will hurt. But the pain of letting go is nothing compared to the pain of staying in the same toxic cycle for the rest of your life. You think you owe them something. You don't. You owe yourself peace. You owe yourself freedom. You owe yourself a chance to step into an environment where your healing isn't constantly under attack. God can open doors for you, but He won't drag you through them while you're still chained to people who are holding you back. You can pray for healing all you want, but if you're choosing to stay in the place that keeps making you sick, you're not praying, you're procrastinating. You need to understand something. Cutting toxic people out isn't cruel. It's self-respect. It's not about hate, revenge, or bitterness. It's about protecting your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. It's about choosing to prioritize your growth over their comfort. The people who truly care about you won't poison you. The ones who get angry when you set boundaries were never for you. They were only for what they could get from you. So decide today, are you going to keep letting toxic people rent space in your life, or are you finally going to evict them? Because the moment you let go, the healing you've been praying for will accelerate. Your energy will rise. Your mind will clear. Your heart will have space to breathe again. And you'll finally realize you never needed them to survive. You just needed the courage to walk away. You're waiting for instant results, and that's exactly why you keep falling short. You've been conditioned by this fast food, one-click, instant download world to believe that anything worth having should come immediately. Healing doesn't work like that. It's not amok like that. It's not, doesn't arrive in 24 hours with free shipping. It's a slow, deliberate process, and every step you take toward it matters. The problem is you've mistaken speed for progress. You think that if the pain doesn't vanish instantly, it means nothing is happening. That's not true. Real healing, whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual, isn't just about removing the pain. It's about rebuilding the strength you lost in the process. That takes time. It takes discipline. It takes faith. Every day you choose to going, even when you don't see the results, you're training your mind to endure. You're teaching your body to respond. You're telling your spirit that quitting is not an option. But too many people give up right before the breakthrough happens. They stop the treatment too early. They quit the workout program. They drop the habit that was actually making them better just because they didn't see instant results. That's like planting a seed and digging it up every day to check if it's growing. You can't rush a process that was designed to transform you from the inside out. The truth is, instant results rob you of the lessons you're supposed to learn along the way. The struggle is part of the cure. The waiting is part of the strengthening. If you were healed instantly, you wouldn't develop the patience, the humility, and the appreciation that come from walking through the valley before reaching the mountaintop. You wouldn't build a character that makes you not only healed, but unshakable in the future. Faith is not tested when things happen fast. Faith is tested when nothing seems to be happening at all. That's when doubt whispers, it's not working. That's when impatience tells you, this is taking too long. And that's when you have to decide, are you committed to the process, or are you just chasing a quick fix? If you really want to be whole, you have to stop treating healing like a drive-through. You have to show up every single day, even when the evidence isn't visible yet. The people who truly heal are the ones who push through the boredom, the slow progress, and the days when it feels pointless. They stick to the plan, they keep their faith alive, and they trust that every small effort is stacking up. Your body knows how to repair. Your mind knows how to adapt. Your spirit knows how to overcome. But none of them work on your impatient timeline. Stop expecting the miracle to arrive at lightning speed and start respecting the process that will not only heal you, but also make you stronger than before. That's how real recovery is done. Slow, steady, and unstoppable. You don't take responsibility for your health. That's the brutal truth most people don't want to hear. God gave you one body and one life. That's it. You don't get a spare. You don't get a replacement model when you've run this one into the ground. And yet, so many people treat their health like it's an afterthought. They eat garbage, they barely move, they stay up all night glued to a screen, and then they're shocked when their body starts falling apart. You can't live recklessly and expect divine intervention to override your own neglect. Yes, pray for healing. Yes, believe in miracles. But don't insult God by asking Him to fix what you keep breaking on purpose. If you truly value the gift you've been given, you will treat it like it's priceless. Because it is. Your body is not your enemy. Your mind is not your enemy. But if you don't take responsibility, they will become liabilities instead of assets. Eating clean is not about vanity, it's about fuel. If you pour dirt into an engine, it will break down. Same with your body. Rest is not laziness, it's maintenance. If you keep running without refueling, you will burn out. Movement isn't punishment, it's proof that you're alive. Every time you move your body, you are investing in strength, flexibility, and resilience. And the words you speak over yourself, they are either poison or medicine. You can either curse your health with your tongue by saying, I'm always tired, I'm always sick, I'm falling apart. Or you can speak life, I am strong, I am healing, I am getting better every day. Here's what most people get wrong. They think health is just about reacting when something goes wrong. No, real responsibility means being proactive. It's showing up every single day and making the choice that serves your long-term well-being, even when it's inconvenient. It's drinking water instead of soda. It's going for a walk instead of sinking into the couch. It's putting your phone down an hour earlier so your brain can reset. These aren't just habits, they're declarations that you care about the gift you've been given. If you abuse your body and mind every day, but still expect to be healthy, you're living in fantasy land. You wouldn't trash your home and then expect someone else to magically clean it without you lifting a finger. So why do you think you can trash your body and have God, doctors, or luck do the cleanup? Healing is a partnership. God provides the blueprint, the tools, and the power, but you have to build. You have to show through your actions that you're serious about living well. So stop treating health like an accident and start treating it like a responsibility. Stop asking for strength while making choices that weaken you. Respect the gift, nurture it, guard it. Because when you do, you're not just preventing sickness, you're honoring the one who gave you life in the first place. You keep asking, why me? As if the universe singled you out for misery. You replay your hardships like they're a movie you can't stop watching, waiting for some magical explanation to make it all make sense. But here's the truth, life doesn't owe you an answer. Life doesn't operate on fairness, it operates on reality. Every second you waste on, why me? Is another second you're not moving forward. And while you're stuck in the loop of self-pity, someone else with even less than you is out there building, fighting, winning. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who had the smoothest path. They're the ones who decided to change the question. They stopped asking, why me? And started asking, what now? That shift is where transformation begins. Why me? Anchors you to the past. What now? Catapults you into the future. The moment you decide to stop dissecting your pain and start directing your energy to action, you step into the role of a leader in your own life. Let me be blunt. You don't get points for surviving. Survival is the baseline. Everybody has a story. Everybody has scars. Leaders don't use those scars as excuses. They use them as fuel. The pain you've experienced isn't there to define you. It's there to refine you. You can either sit in the ashes of what happened, or you can rise and build something from it. That's your choice. No one's coming to drag you out of the hole you're in. You have to claw your own way out. And yes, it's gonna hurt. Yes, it's gonna be uncomfortable. But so what? You think building a life you're proud of happens while you're comfortable? Comfort is the coffin of ambition. You either use the pain as a stepping stone, or you let it bury you. If you let it bury you, you're not a victim of your circumstances. You're a volunteer in your own defeat. When you ask, what now? You force your mind to find solutions instead of problems. You shift from helplessness to power. You stop living like life is happening to you and start living like life is happening for you. That's when the healing starts, not when someone finally says sorry, not when the universe hands you a reason, but when you decide the pain is not the period at the end of your story. It's the comma, the pause, the setup for your next chapter. So I'm asking you right now, in this moment, are you done with why me? Are you ready to start asking what now? Because if you are, you've already taken the first step. Leaders don't need all the answers before they act. They take the next step, then the next, and the next after that. That's how you turn pain into power. That's how you stop being a victim and start being unstoppable. If you refuse to believe you deserve healing, you've already lost the battle before it begins. You can pray, you can go to every doctor, you can read every self-help book on the shelf. But if deep down you think you're not worthy, you'll block every blessing that's trying to reach you. This isn't just about hope, this is about identity. You've been walking around wearing the label of your pain like it's your name tag. Broken, damaged, sick, unlucky. You've convinced yourself that's who you are. And the worst part is you've started to live according to that lie. You cannot build a healthy life on a foundation of self-hate. You can't expect to walk in freedom if you've shackled yourself with the belief that you're not allowed to be free. Healing starts in your mind because the mind is the command center of your life. Every decision, every habit, every reaction flows from what you believe about yourself. If you believe you're undeserving, you'll unconsciously sabotage progress. You'll skip the workout. You'll forget to take the medicine. You'll stay in the toxic relationship. You'll dismiss compliments. You'll downplay progress. Why? Because it feels safer to stay broken than to risk becoming whole. Somewhere in your past, someone or something convinced you that you weren't good enough. Maybe it was an abusive parent, a failed relationship, a betrayal, a mistake you can't forgive yourself for. But here's the truth. You are not your past, and you are not your pain. Those were events, they were seasons. They were chapters, not the title of your book. The biggest lie you've been sold is that healing is a privilege for a select few, when in reality, it's a birth for everyone willing to claim it. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to beg for it. You have to choose it. And choosing it means deciding right now that you are worth the work. See yourself as whole before you are. Speak it before you feel it. Act like someone who's already healed. When you wake up, say, I am strong, I am worthy, I am capable, I am healing. When doubt creeps in, shut it down with truth. When fear whispers, what if you fail? Respond, what if I win? The world won't see you as unstoppable until you start carrying yourself like you are. This isn't fake confidence. It's training your mind to align with the outcome you want. And here's the secret: the moment you truly believe you deserve healing, you'll start taking the steps that make it inevitable. You'll stop tolerating what breaks you. You'll start investing in what builds you. You'll protect your peace like it's gold, because you'll finally understand it is. Healing isn't just about your body or your circumstances. It's about reclaiming your worth, rewriting your story, and refusing to let anything convince you that you're not enough. You've been enough from day one. Now start living like it. Stop waiting for someone else to fix you. Stop blaming your past, your parents, your boss, your ex, or your circumstances. Healing is why your job. And the moment you decide you're done making excuses, that's the moment you start winning.